Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the September 7th, 2025 lunar eclipse in Pisces transit, part 4 of 4. In this segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit's possible impact on the zodiac signs Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant for all zodiac signs. Now, for Libra, well, the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So one way this may manifest is that it could be a revelation or unveiling of some Pisces, a health-related issue. Given that this is a lunar eclipse, it could be something of more significance, of a more serious nature. It could be something, connected with the feet, the toes, the pineal gland, the lymphatic or immune system. It also could be the end of indolence or lethargy in the daily routine. If there's been a lot of procrastination in one's daily routine and hesitation in matters, this could be a time where, you may simply be tired of it and be able to, just say, enough is enough of this. And also could be affecting employment as well. And it could also be, really, in some cases, this could be the revelation or unveiling of some kind of deceptive or duplicitous employee, and maybe, or maybe finding out the character of one which may be rather deceptive or overly passive or weak, indolent, as some examples. And also, too, one may become tired, full, exasperated, and exasperated, I should say. It could be at an aunt or uncle that, maybe, could be a Pisces, sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It might be, people that are compassionate, forgiving, altruistic, but at the same time, the person may be exasperated at the negative qualities of the, of the Piscean related qualities that, may include, again, being overly passive or gullible or, deceptive or duplicitous or even, evasive and elusive as some examples. Now, for Scorpio, the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So, as many of you may know, a lunar eclipse can indicate the departure of a prominent female in one's life. It could be something, being in the fifth house. It could be a romantic partner. It could be somebody with a Pisces, sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the traits of the sign. It could be somebody that's very, altruistic, compassionate, forgiving, empathetic, even empathic, but at the same time may be overly, gullible, evasive, elusive, and deceptive as well. Also, too, this could be the ending of some Pisces-related hobby, game, or amusement. And, given that this is a lunar eclipse, the reason it could take on more significance. And the reason of this, some of you may wonder, well, what would be so important about somebody ending, some kind of hobby, game, or amusement at this time, or thing of amusement? But what it could be something that somebody had stayed with for a prolonged period. Maybe it leads to doing something else in one's life that may be more productive. Now, this could be, as far as, given that this is Pisces, it could be doing, as far as like a sport, for example, that can include, doing something with boating or rafting, or something underwater. It could be diving, as some examples. Could, as far as a hobby, oceanography, or even like playing like a game like Dungeons and Dragons, because that's a fantasy game that's right up Pisces energy alley. It's also, this could be a time, too, where one may become tired, full, and exasperated at, a child that may be, overly, could be overly passive or overly duplicitous, deceptive, evasive, elusive. And it could also be, a time too where if one is invested in something, it could be something revealed regarding some deception involved in it. It could be something, as an example, where the investor, had stated to you that you were going to get, you should get this amount of money in this point in time or in this amount of time, and it's not paying, the dividends that, you thought it was supposed to be, or the money is going, to some other source, whatever it might be. There might be something that may be revealed about, an investment that you had that might have been nebulous and unclear. Now, for Sagittarius, the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So, in isolated and remote instances, this could be some kind of chemical release or flooding in the home. Keep in mind, this is a lunar eclipse, so it's something that, to keep in mind. It could be something of major, importance, not just a slight, like a tub just overflowing a little bit, so it's something to be very wary of, and especially if you're like in an area where they're calling for, heavy rain or possible flooding conditions at this time. Also, too, there may be some revelation or unveiling of more of the Pisces-related qualities that one may have at the core, which can include, being compassionate, altruistic, forgiving, intuitive, empathic, empathetic, being idealistic, being able to, overlook the transgressions in others, forgiveness. Also, too, another way that this may manifest for Sagittarius is that one may become tired, full, and exasperated at. It could be somebody that's a Pisces, that the person is close to home with their family member, a home family-related member. It could be someone that's a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or again embodies the traits of the sign. It could be again, somebody that might be overly, evasive or elusive and deceptive, and a person you may become at this time, you may just be like, okay, enough is enough. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Keep in mind, again, the fact it's a lunar eclipse. It may take on more significance and have life-altering implications. And it might be also tired, exasperated, and full of a chaotic home situation. If you're somebody that's been in a situation where you've been bouncing around from one place to another, this home and this home, and you've had, where your home situation has been very nebulous and unclear, to say the least, this could be a time where you're just really had, enough of it and may finally do something about it. And also, the fourth house in astrology also is connected, with with friends, debilitations, because it's the sixth house from the 11th house of friends. So in some cases, it may be remote. It could be some revelation or unveiling of a friend that might have it could be some Pisces-related debilitation or weakness. It may be something, with the feet, or the toes, the lymphatic or immune system, something with the pineal gland. It might be something that's causing a lot of tiredness or fatigue or lethargy. Another thing, okay, next up, for Capricorn, the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Capricorn, this could simply be the ending of maybe some chaotic or convoluted short journey that may have gone on for some time, or short journeys. Maybe it had to do with a living situation, whatever it might be. This is where, this may come to an end at this time, or maybe there was some issue regarding a vehicle that was related to a chemical in it, or there was something that was nebulous or unclear that was wrong with it. And maybe you finally, are getting it resolved at this time. Could also be the completion or culmination of some Pisces-related writing at this time, whether, some examples, it could be something connected with oceanography or chemistry or photography, or even the metaphysical, which includes astrology or spirituality, as some examples. Also, too, another way this could manifest is that it could be the revelation or unveiling of some Pisces-related neighbor sibling, or cousin. It might be some kind of, deception involved with these one or more of these people, something duplicitous. Maybe one has been evasive in some manner. It could be somebody that's you're finding that has some kind of escapist, tendencies at this time. And also, too, this is where one might become tired, full, and exasperated at. It could be simply the dissolving or dissipation in communication in one's life. It could be something where, if the communications are gradually diminishing or dissolving, this could be a time for Capricorn where he or she may just finally decide to do something about it. And it could be something of major significance, given this is a lunar eclipse and not a regular full moon. Now, for Aquarius, the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Aquarius, one way this may manifest, it could be the ending of some Piscean money-making venture, at this time, or one that was nebulous and unclear. It might have been making money doing something, some examples connected with something with oceanography or bartending, chemistry, photography, anesthesiology, spirituality, or the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Now, it could also be the dissolving of assets. Well, I'm being somewhat flippant with that, but it could be a time where maybe it does have something to do with that, literally, because Pisces energy is about dissolving and dissipation. Second house is connected with assets. And also, too, this could be about the unveiling or revelation of somebody that may have been deceptive and duplicitous in matters pertaining to buying and selling. If there was something where you've had some dealing with somebody where you've had a lot of items purchased from him or her frequently, and maybe it's a time when you're finding out you were really severely overcharged on those items, as an example. And this is something that could be really of importance, given that this is a lunar eclipse and not a regular full moon. It could also be a time what could be revealed regarding one's talents and abilities that could be Pisces related. It could be some ability or talent for poetry or dancing or photography or chemistry, even spirituality, or the metaphysical, which includes astrology. And it could be, too, where one becomes, again, tired, full, and exasperated at one situation pertaining to, their money, possessions, and resources. It could be something chaotic with this situation. Maybe it was something where you sacrificed a lot of these things for others, and maybe it's a time where you basically had enough of doing so. Maybe it's you've been sacrificing, you feel, to the wrong people. Maybe there's something where these items have been gradually dissolving and you're losing, these things slowly but surely. And now for Pisces, the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Pisces, while one way this may manifest, this could be the end of some addiction, in some cases affecting the physical body. And naturally, given that this is a lunar eclipse in contrast to a regular full moon, it could be a time that of really major importance where something may really be done about this situation once and for all. If that is the case, it could be it could also be some kind of chemicals or something else that might be affecting the person physically. Sometimes it could be drugs. It could be prescription medicine that maybe the person is experienced adverse effects. Maybe the person has experienced adverse effects as a result of the medicine. As another example, it could also be the revelation or unveiling of somebody, connected with the early childhood, that you're finding out may be deceptive or duplicitous or overly evasive at this time. And also, too, this could be a time where one may become tired, full, and exasperated. It could be at simply being overly apathetic regarding new beginnings, or even indolent, which could affect embarking on new projects and endeavors, and even negative Piscean traits, especially if this is actually hitting the, in the person's literal first house, their ascendant. If it's crossing the literal first house, the qualities, Pisces rising, of course, many of you may know that's where the rising sign is what we express naturally. That's the outer demeanor and the qualities that are easily expressed. And these qualities projected outwardly, the negative ones, could be a time where one really becomes tired, exasperated, and full of, and maybe tries to actually do something about it once and for all. And those negative qualities could be ones that include could be gullible, being overly evasive, or or escapist, or overly elusive, deceptive, duplicitous, giving. It could be surrendering too quickly to others, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.